In this video, we're going to discuss one of sales' most pivotal concepts, and to be honest, one of life's most pivotal concepts as well, which is social value theory. Now, to understand social value theory is to understand evolutionary psychology. So I want to preface this section with a quick primer on evolution for those of you that aren't acquainted with it. Evolution is the change in the characteristics of a biological population over a very large time scale. That's it. These characteristics can either be physical, like how a species of fish over millions of years can grow these little stubs that end up turning into legs. But these characteristics can also be neurobiological, aka your actual brain structures can change over successive generations to prioritize different things that lead to a higher likelihood of survival. If we look at this specifically in terms of the human population, you'll see that there are several things the human brain evolved for back when we lived in the African savannas and back when we hunted in tribes. And one of these things is an in-depth understanding of social hierarchy, aka the ability to intuit, more or less, the amount of power or value that an individual has in a given group. We evolved for this because the people that were better able to understand the social hierarchy often lived much longer, and they're also able to pass their genes on to the next generation. This is the principle of natural selection. And we've all heard the saying, survival of the fittest, but you can think of this more like survival of the coolest. There's several ways that this value is communicated. The most direct way was through body size, so how big and physically imposing you were. But since that's not something most people can change easily, at least in terms of sales, we're not going to mention it past that. The second most direct way is through what are called honest signals. These include body language, vocal tonality, loudness, and your physical appearance as well. In each of these categories, there are certain classes of behaviors that are higher value than others. For example, having big, wide-open body language is often much higher value than being small and closed off. Or talking like this is often much higher value than talking like this. Now, I'm not going to get into the specific reasoning behind this because it's a really in-depth topic, and it'll probably take us several hours to get through. We do actually have a separate course entirely on body language and vocal tonality, so if you guys are interested, you can check out my instructor bio, and it'll take you there. But for now, and for the purposes of this course, we're just going to take this for granted. In general, people are often more attracted to high-value honest signals than low-value honest signals. And when I say attraction, I don't just mean like romantic attraction. I mean that people tend to gravitate around high-value people because from an evolutionary psych perspective, they are seen as stronger and more reliable. And this is the crux of why social value is going to be so important to our success. Social value theory applies to every human being on the planet because it's actually ingrained in like the biological makeup of our brains. It's not a cultural phenomenon. It's a human phenomenon. And as entrepreneurs attempting to optimize our sales strategy, we want any type of optimization that we make to be as universal as possible. Because the more of our demographic that this applies to, the higher return any optimizations are going to yield us. If people gravitate towards high value, if people find high value more reliable, then by making ourselves as high value as possible, we can draw more potential customers in, and we can also close more consistently. So what does this mean for us? It means we need to adopt high-value body language, high-value vocal tone, high-value appearance, and so on. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the next section. Okay, so what did we learn today? Well, we started the video off by giving a quick primer on evolution, and most importantly, the fact that human psychology can change over successive generations. We then talked a bit about why human beings evolved to understand social hierarchies, and then we moved on to what are called honest signals of value. And the last thing we learned was why social value will help us sell. In the next video, we're going to go specifically over high-value body language, high-value vocal tone, and high-value appearance. See you soon.